Storytelling is as old as time itself, woven into the fabric of every culture for thousands of years. Tales were once widespread in flickering firelight to explain the mysteries of the world. Myths spoke of gods and monsters. Legends that immortalized heroes, and stories that taught lessons, concealed in shadows. Even on cave walls, mankind etched its understanding of the world, crafting narratives that have endured through the ages. And then there are stories of ghosts, dark, unsettling tales that seem to linger on the very edge of belief. Stories that speak of the restless dead, their spirits trapped between worlds. These stories are more than mere entertainment. They are glimpses into the past, reflections of how our ancestors feared and understood the unseen forces around them. One of these stories concerns my hometown, Hull, a city in East Yorkshire, England. And the story is of the Beast of Barmston Drain. So, wrap yourself up warm, close the doors and windows, and let's talk. For many who grew up in Hull, summer days spent along the banks of Barmston Drain hold warm, idyllic memories. But now, a shadow looms over this peaceful scene, a shadow in the shape of a terrifying legend. The once calm waters are now tainted by chilling reports of a creature unlike any seen before. Locals speak of a half-man, half-dog stalking the grass, slaughtering anything in its path. It is said to move with unnatural speed, towering over fences, its eyes glowing in the dark. One witness, breathless and pale, claimed to have seen the beast leap effortlessly over an 8-foot fence, a German shepherd hanging limply from its jaws. The stories grew so loud that even Hull historian Mike Covell couldn't ignore them. Known for keeping an open mind, Covell found himself drawn into the mystery, organising a werewolf hunt, after hearing from more than 7 people claimed to have seen the creature. I was asked to research a werewolf sighting by a couple who had seen something that was tall and hairy and was eating a German shepherd dog by the side of the drain, Covell recalled, his voice grim. They stopped to get a closer look and witnessed it jump over a fence, vanishing to the night, still carrying its prey. The fence was 8 feet tall. The reports did not stop there. Another woman described a creature bounding along the drain on all fours, stopping abruptly to stand on its hind legs before it ran down the embankment and leapt over the water, vanishing into the night. 2 spoke of its strange wolf-like features, and her terror was unmistakable. She was terrified, and her dog, which she was walking at the time, began shaking and would go no further. For years, the drain, which my American listeners might call a creek or a small river, had been a place of whispers. Its still waters concealing not just mysteries of nature but of death. Beyond the sightings of the beast, there had been sightings of black-eyed ghost children. A heavy presence seemed to hang over the place, like the weight of countless tragedies. Mike Covell, intrigued, decided to dig deeper. The Barmston Drain, officially the Beverley and Barmston Drain, was constructed in 1798 as part of a drainage scheme, but the soil it drained carried with it a history of death and despair. Covell uncovered records of hundreds of tragic deaths along the 23-mile stretch, with the earliest being the drowning of a 19-year-old Master Teasdale in July 1824. And he wasn't the last. More than 100 souls have met their end in those waters, many of them children who sought relief from summer's heat in the treacherous currents of what locals morbidly called Barmy Drain. There follows a grim procession of the dead, claiming nearly 1 life a year. Summer was the most dangerous time. Hull Corporation, the local council, had even discussed hiring lifeguards to patrol the drain, but their efforts came too late for many. In 1892, an unknown boy was pulled lifeless from the water in May. Just months later, the tragedy deepened when a father, George Sowen, drowned his 2 children before taking his own life in the cold embrace of the drain. The haunting weight of the past clings to the drain, especially when the sun dips below the horizon. Yet none of these tragedies explain the beast that now prowls its banks, and none of the restless souls of the dead account for the creature's origins. Mike Covell, having studied similar sightings from across the British Isles, now searches for an answer. What could stalk these lands? Thing that defies explanation. Asked if he believed in the creature, Covell hesitated. It was a bit strange, but this couple, who I've known for years, are trustworthy and very sincere people. They are genuinely scared by something. I'm just not sure what. While the stories only multiplied as the year wore on. In 2016, media outlets around the world picked up on the reports. The half-man, half-dog creature was no longer a local legend. It had captured global attention. Some linked the sightings to the ancient legend of Old Stinker, a fearsome werewolf said to haunt the Yorkshire wolds. In August of 2016, yet another sighting came in. A woman driving through the village of Halsham in East Yorkshire claimed to see a beast with a human head walking on two legs towards her car. Her heart raced as the creature stepped closer before it suddenly disappeared into the night. Dr. Sam George, a Gothic scholar and literary expert, weighed in on the growing panic. He suggested that the location of these sightings, near the Yorkshire wolds, once home to wild wolves, might hold significance. Old Stinker, Dr. George explained, represents not just a supernatural shapeshifter, but our collective guilt of the extinction of wolves in England. He is a reminder of the dark past we have created, of the nature we have destroyed. There are those who see the creature not as a monster to be feared, but as a symbol. A ghost of England's wild past, now returning to haunt us in our modern world. Sightings became so regular at one point, they even led to a bizarre Freedom of Information request to Hull Council, which confirmed it had no official policy on werewolves. Even rock legend Alice Cooper couldn't help but comment on the strange events, saying, "So there are suddenly several reports of a werewolf-like creature near a small town in the UK? Do you think it could be real?" No one knows for sure, but as night falls over Barmston Drain, the fear lingers and the stories continue. Something is out there in the darkness, watching, waiting.